Father Christmas and I are having a little chat and a coffee and talking about, do you use your sixth sense? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Day 1786 of What You Up To Now. Excuse my throat. Documenting the journey as we transition from the brick and mortar corporate, or as I and we transitioned in my companies from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. And I spent over a quarter century in corporate America, simultaneously running and operating and owning my own businesses, till finally in 2004 I made the final leap of faith out of corporate America with a little bit of a push, because it's a long story, but lots of things in corporate America I got the chance to experience: downsizing, layoffs, being bought by other companies, mergers and acquisitions, all kinds of really cool stuff that didn't always feel cool at the time. But when I look back and reflect on all I learned from those experiences, I always learned more than I ever felt bad about when it came to anything that I've ever done. Even the mistakes I've made, I think if I at least learn a lesson from them, I'm doing okay and I'm moving in the right direction, at least for me. So our topics today for the annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge, I'm asking two questions every day this month. And our first question was, do you hear an inner voice? And do you, well, I've then wondered, well, if you hear it, do you listen to it? And do you acknowledge it? Or do you have a sixth sense? I use sixth sense as our idiom to tie into this. And sixth sense, intuition, inner voice, sometimes they're all defined as the same thing, but some sources like to separate them out and make distinctions and define them themselves. And we all get the ability to do that, right? We get to call things and define things with respect to what do they mean to us. So talked about sixth sense, shared 7 ways that you can listen to and tap into your inner voice in Supersize Your Business for female entrepreneurs. And in the challenge, we talked about 2 questions. The first one was, do you hear an inner voice? And the second was a really weird one. It's like, if our knees were bent the other way or backwards, what would chairs look like? Now, I have not been able to wrap my head around that one yet. I haven't spent any time thinking about it, but it's an interesting question. Although I'm not sure really how valuable it is. It's just kind of one of those rhetorical, interesting questions that, you know, it's so weird, because if our knees bent back the other way, it wouldn't make any sense because the rest of us bends this way. And so I thought about it a little this morning, but not enough to really care. I've got a fun day of volunteering today, and then I'm actually heading home tomorrow afternoon. So I'm kind of excited. I've been away a long time, and it's always, I love traveling, absolutely love traveling, but I love being home even more. I love being in my own environment where I can do what I want, when I want, wearing what I want, with whomever I want. And that's what home means to me. So it was interesting, some of my research on our inner voice. Some sources say only 25% of people, meaning 25% of 7 or 8 billion people, actually hear and listen to their inner voice. Everybody else, we all have one. It's like we all have intuition, but we don't always listen to it. I remember my whole life, I felt like weird and different because I could sense things, and then I didn't listen to them. And when I didn't listen to them, I usually made a mistake. When I did listen to my intuition, my heart, and my head, all 3 simultaneously, nowadays I've finally gotten it through my thick skull with lots and lots of lessons learned and mistakes along the way, that if I'm making a decision or a choice, I tap into what is my mind, my heart, my thoughts, my brain saying, you know, what's logical, what's emotional, what does my heart say, what do I feel is right for me, and then my intuition, my gut, my inner voice, my sixth sense, whatever you want to call it. If all 3 of those aren't saying yes to something, I don't do it. And that was a very hard lesson learned, but there's really, by doing the lifeline exercise, I love to do this lifeline exercise, and we went through it at least 9 times already this year in the challenge for each major area and aspect of our life. And I like doing it because it helps me to go back and see the patterns in my life, see the lessons that I've learned. And I have key events where my head said, yeah, this is the right business partner to do. On paper, it looked like a great decision and a great choice, but something was bothering me about it. And my intuition was screaming, wrong, stop, don't do this. But I still did it anyway. Turns out that was one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my life. Same is true of my marriage and a couple other times that are such big lessons learned. I finally realized, yeah, I have to listen to all three. They have to all three say yes. Or for me, it's a, maybe it's not an absolute no, but it's not now. Because a lot of times it's just it's the timing isn't right, or for a particular choice or a particular decision. So that's it today. Curious, do you tap into your intuition, your sixth sense? Do you use it? Do you even know you have a sixth sense? You know, we all know we have sight, some of us more than others. I don't have very good sight these days. Sight, sound, right? We can hear, most people can hear, but some people can't hear, some people can't see. Some people actually can't taste. And I think a lot of people got a dose of that with COVID. A lot of people couldn't taste anything. Most of us can feel and touch things. And sight, sound, hearing, vision, sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. Most of us can smell. But again, with COVID, one of the symptoms was you lost your sense of taste and smell. Super scary for a lot of people that have never lost any of their senses whatsoever. Me being legally blind, I know how much we need to appreciate all five of those senses. And if we have a sixth one available to us, why wouldn't we all want to tap into that? That's my perspective. All right, if I can help you anyway, pajamagram@gmail.com on Voxer, or Google me and find me. I'm easy to find. That's why I love it when people message me on social media. So what do you do? Who are you? What do you like? I'm like, all right, there's 6,000 videos of me up there. I think you can get a clue. Or ask, but ask in a way that shows that you took at least a couple of seconds to look it up, right? That's why I form relationships with real people, not people that are botting and spamming everybody. All right, have a great day, and I'll, of course, see you tomorrow.